Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, and welcome to my YouTube channel. As you know guys, we are doing transformation of the shapes. In last lecture we transform our shape from its original shape to sharing along its x-axis and along its y-axis. Let us see first what we have done in our last lecture. So in last lecture we see sharing along y-axis and also sharing along its x-axis, right? So in today's lecture we are going to see how we can transform our shape from its original to its shape our after scaling. So for this purpose I will draw a rectangle and then scale it, right? So scaling mean actually whenever you want to expand or shrink your shape, that is called scaling of shape. So as you can think of this concept, if you want to make your shape bigger, then you will scale it with a positive value, right? And whenever you want to shrink down your shape, you will scale it with negative value, or you will decrease the values of its x-axis and y-axis, right? So let's see scaling. So for scaling, first I will declare some variables. Let's say x, and today I am going to use rectangle function to draw because we don't need to scale our shape with line function. That will be so messy because we have to write 4 lines of code for a single rectangle. So for scaling of rectangle we can use the rectangle function. So x1 will be, you can say, 20, and y1 will be 20, and x2 will be 250, and y2 will be you can say it 200, right? And at the last we need a scaling value, right? We will scale our shape with the you can say 3.2, right? So first I want to actually write the value inside our rectangle and at 100, and then character pointer, and I am going to say it original, right? Then I am going to draw a rectangle, and it will be x1, y1, then x2 and y2, right? So this will be our original rectangle, and let us see it first. It's looking like a square. We have to decrease the value of, I think, y2. Let's say it 150. Now it's looking like a rectangle now, right? And this should be at 80. Now what we have to do, we want to scale. For scaling you have to multiply your scaling value with each x and y value of your rectangle, right? After that we will get our scaled shape. So I am going to draw another rectangle, and x1 into scaling value, then y1 into scaling value, then x2 into scaling value, and y2 into scaling value, right? So this will be our scaled rectangle. Let's see, it will be much bigger. So as you can see, after scaling it with the hue, you can see here it is. So this was our original and this is our scaled rectangle. If you don't want to see it much bigger, then you can multiply it with a little value so we can see it properly on our screen. So here it is. So that was the rectangle behind is the original and in front is the scaled rectangle, right? So this was scaling in C++, and in our next lecture we will see first our translation of the shape, right? We are going to translate the shape in our next lecture, and at the last we will see how we can do rotation of the shapes, right? Up till next video, Allah Hafiz, and also don't forget to subscribe the channel.